Hello, friends. A lot of you have been writing to me, and there are so many questions that I get every day. So many unanswered questions. I would like to take some of them up in these sessions, coming sessions. And two of the most important questions that I get are first, what is my sole purpose? And the second most important question I get is why I believe less in astrology and more in karmas. I will try to answer both of them in these coming sessions, but let us start right away with the elements or the tattvas of planets and signs. Pranam, welcome to RU Ketu. This is Gitanshu Malhotra. Understanding the transit every day and concentrating more on nakshatra is not the right Vedic way of interpreting a planet or a chart. I can relate an example. Let us say the transit today, whatever the transit is happening, it is good or bad for certain people. People are falling sick today, people are recovering today. Some of them are having a bad day, for some it is an excellent day. Some are losing money, some are making money. However, the transit is the same for everybody. What is the difference? How we absorb energy of a particular planet in a different manner is what is the essence to understand in Vedic astrology. We've already talked about the nature in terms of Rajasvik, Satvik and Tamsik. Today I will concentrate more on the environment of the planet, because environment of a particular planet would decide how it is going to give you a particular result in a particular situation. Like I said, we cannot straight away jump to the nakshatra. There are other factors involved in understanding the nature of the planet. We have discussed some, and today I am going to discuss a very important aspect that is called the tattvas or the element of a sign. Sign is like an environment to a planet. This environment decides the strength of the planet. You may observe that you have a strong Jupiter, but when you see it in your chart, it does not give you that good results. Today, by the end of this session, you will understand two simple things. First, why karmas are more important in astrology or in Vedic astrology, and second part, how to interpret these elements in a very comfortable manner. So straight away I'll start with this. Each sign, we have 12 signs, and each sign relates to a particular element. These elements are four. They are fire, earth, air and water. Each sign is related to the trinal sign next to it. Like if I talk about Aries, the trinal signs become 5 and 9. That is Leo and Sagittarius. Every element moves in the trine. So the sign 1, 5, 9, they will correspond to the element of fire. We will understand what exactly these are, but first we need to understand what are the names, what they represent first. Second in line, if you have a Taurus ascendant, your trinals become 2, 6 and 10. That is Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. For the air element, it becomes 3, 7 and 11. For the water element, that is the Cancer sign, it becomes 4, 8 and 12. So the fiery signs are 1, 5 and 9. The earthy signs are 2, 6 and 10. The airy signs are 3, 7 and 11. And the watery signs are 4, 8 and 12. The interesting part is everything moves in a trinal aspect. they are related to trine. The elements are always related to trine. As in the horoscope, the trinal houses become very powerful and important if they are connected. Likewise, the signs also play a very important role as they are of the same nature. Like signs show the field in which a planet operates, the element shows exactly where in the different levels the planet will operate. Say for example, like we were talking about today. Today things are not happening same for everybody. However, the planetary transit influence is the same for everybody right now. The absorption power is different. This absorption power we are going to study step by step, first being the fiery signs. 1, 5 and 9 meaning Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. As the name suggests, fire. It is not exactly to do with heat, but it is more to do with creativity and energy. Planets placed in 1, 5 and 9 exhibit more aggressive nature towards accomplishing things. Why I use the word aggressive? Because they want to do a lot of things quickly in a smaller time. Planets falling in these signs are quick to reaction. If somebody has got moon in the fiery sign, he or she would be quick to reaction. This reaction is understanding in depth of certain situations or anger. Both the reactions are quick. Fiery signs are creative signs. They are the signs that develop ideas. Suddenly you feel that you've got an idea to do something. Fiery signs are involved somewhere or the other. They are determined signs, meaning if a particular planet is placed there and the dasha running is of that sign and it corresponds to the energy of the fire, then determination during those times is higher to achieve the unachievable. These people set higher goals because they feel that they have the energy to achieve it and they have the skills, and going alongside they do see a lot of hurdles. But fiery signs people, they want to accomplish challenges. They are looking for new challenges every time. I will divide every sign in a positive or a negative manner, or on a higher platform and on a lower platform. Here is where karmas play in. Like a fiery sign, if it is well placed and you exhibit courage and discipline together, these fiery signs tend to make the planet positive. Like, let's say you have Sun in Aries. It's exalted, but understand a fiery element in a fiery sign creates more fire or aggression. These people are egoistic. They are quick to anger. However, if they live a balanced life, if they control their actions and emotions and are not very rash, they tend to become more intellectuals. The intelligence prevails. This is in my own hand. Planets do not play a definitive role. The karmas are more important than the definitive role of the planet. Like I said, let us take Mars for example. Mars is also in a fiery planet placed in a very fiery sign. So this Mars is placed in, let's say, Leo, another fiery sign. This Mars tends to become aggressive. These are the nature of the planet on a lower level. If I control my aggression, this Mars becomes active. It activates my internal energies and energies to achieve something more bigger every time. This is in my hand. This is why I call karmas are more important than planets. I have to focus myself. I have to decide that look, my aggression is high, but I have to control this aggression and force my power towards creativity. When this Mars is on the lower level, it tends to get more aggressive. When this Surya is on a lower level, or sun, planet sun, it tends to become more egoistic instead of becoming more intelligent and intellectual. Fiery people generally think very high of themselves. They are rash, they are given to anger quickly, and are argumentative at times. Now imagine a different planet placed in the fiery sign. Let us say Moon is placed in Aries. Moon is a watery planet, it's a softer planet, and it is placed in a fiery element. At times, this is a very good combination to have. The water element is balanced by the fire element is balanced by the water element. These people, when they start living a balanced life, this moon gives them a lot of intelligence. This moon gives them a lot of creativity. This moon gives them a lot of determination to achieve their task rather than rashness, rather than ego. If this fiery element is strong, the people are of very high moral values because they are mostly self-made people. They respect other people's achievement, they compliment them. But if this fiery element is on the lower level, then the factor of jealousy starts to creep in. They are more jealous of people's achievement. They look more outside of what others are doing instead of concentrating their energies more on what to achieve themselves. Generally, if this element of fire operates on the lower realms, on the lower level, then these people seldom have partnerships easily. They do become partners to any venture, but their partnerships are very short-lived because of their ego, because of their aggressive nature. However, if they learn to balance this nature, one of the most creative signs are fiery signs. Of course, in later parts we'll decide how the fiery energy of Aries is different from Leo and how its energy of Leo and Aries is different to the energy of Sagittarius. When on the good side, the energy levels are high, these fiery planets tend to give you a lot more than you are looking for or than you expect. One of the good things that they give is agility. Second good thing they give is you always look younger than your age. Third good point is they give you tireless energy. The person is ready to work 18 to 20 hours a day, yet smile after 18 hours a day. They manage so much of energy. Fiery planets are excellent to have if we understand how to balance them. Sun is a very powerful planet in Aries. It can give a lot of name, fame, money, power, prestige on the higher level, but only if the traits of Sun are properly taken care of. That is wisdom, that is intellect. If this moves to the lower level, it becomes rashness, it becomes high-headedness, it becomes argumentation, it becomes ego. Then we are bound to have clashes. That is the reason why people with exalted sun may not do very well in life, whereas some of the people with exalted sun tend to do excellent in life. The basic understanding of the karmas is how to balance the planet, and in this, environment plays an excellent or the most important role to decide the nature of the planet. The more deeper you understand the environment of a planet, the planet becomes very clear to you. Like we just said Mars, everybody knows Mars is of a very different energy. It is of the energy of rashness. In a Manglik horoscope, or when we tend to match the horoscopes, Mars placement in the 7th sign or in the 7th house kind of spoils the marriage. But however, if this Mars is balanced beautifully by the element of water, we will discuss what the element of water is in subsequent times. If, as the name suggests, fire planet with a watery element, if it starts to balance beautifully, then these horoscopes do not become manglik or malefic in terms of marriage. So we have the same Mars spoiling the seventh house, the house of marriage. But the moment its environment changes, its nature starts to change. Instead of breaking the marriage, it tries to work on the marriage. It tries to make the marriage more happy and blissful. So, if someone has Mars in the seventh house, and if it is not of a fiery nature, then this needs to be studied deeply whether the chart is actually a malefic chart or not. See how Mars changed the moment it moved from a fiery element to a watery element. Same is with Moon. When Moon is a watery planet, it's a slow planet, it's an emotional planet. But if your emotional planet is balanced by the element of fire, the emotions are taken care of. You may not be very emotional. You may tend to be emotional projecting from outside because of Moon. But inside, as you grow, you will continue to get that strength. If this fire element is balanced properly, these people are good motivators. They are helpers. In the middle of the night, you call them with people with fiery element. They are always ready to help you. They will not think twice coming for help. This is how the energies of a particular planet are balanced in the terms of environment. When this element becomes or comes to the lower level, let us say we are of the nature of aggression and we are not controlling our aggression. These people with fiery element become very violent. They become rigid, they become destructive. They are troublemakers. They always are willing to pick up an argument or a fight instead of controlling the arguments or the fights. Wrongly placed planets in fiery element, these people think more about self-promotion first. It becomes me first, others afterwards, including their closest of friends and family members. We know so many of people around us who tend to become selfish when it comes to them. They may not care about friendships or relationships. One of the negative element of fire is selfishness, is rashness, is jealousy, anger. All these may lead to self-destruction. So friends, if a planet is tending more towards fire and you feel that your nature is aggressive, no remedy can help you control that aggression unless you decide to channelize the energy of aggression to something creative. To channelize the energy from argument and destruction to something creative and constructive. That is why I say again and again, destiny is what we make through our karmas. Next in line, we'll be talking about earthy elements.